it now, actually, so people who can't come get on watch. But I wanted to cover two things tonight, and then if you guys had anything that you were like really wanting to talk through, we can totally do it. But the first thing that I wanted to go over was kind of finding your niche, because I think it's something that might be my computer. Sorry, I don't know what that is. I think it's something that I'm still struggling with a little bit, and I think it's something that we all are trying to figure out of like, who are we posting to? Like, how do we attract people? What is this all about? And it's something that I've been doing a bunch of research on, and then I think I've told you guys I'm a part of this like group of top 10 coaches that are like imparting their knowledge to us, and that's something we've been talking about a lot lately. So finding your niche. And then the other thing I wanted to talk about was recruiting, which everyone will be like, oh my gosh, don't say that word, I don't want to be a recruiter, but just kind of what it looks like to start talking about the business opportunities. Before I jump into either of those things, though, are there anything that you guys have questions on that have come up this week? No worries. No, you're all good. Okay. Well, I wanted to, okay, let's see if I can do a screen share with you guys. We're going to see like how many millions of windows I have up here. Hang on. Whoa. What was that? Okay, so I'm going to mute you guys, and then if you want to talk, you can go ahead and do that right here. Actually, if you guys could all go ahead and mute yourselves, you should see on the bottom of your thing like a little mute button. So you can mute yourselves, and then if you have a question, you can just unmute yourself and jump into that. Okay, so can you guys nod if you can see my screen? Yes, okay, cool. Okay, so this is a slide that is from another webinar that I was on, and it's entitled about attracting your ideal coach, but it can really go both directions, I think, of attracting your ideal customer or your ideal coach if you're talking about both of them. And so the first thing is, the biggest thing that I've been learning is the whole piece about don't posting to the masses. And I think that we're talking about like, oh, you should post, 3 to 5 times a day on social media and all this stuff. It's like easier to almost like word vomit and just throw stuff out on everyone. But really trying to think like, one, do you want everyone on your team or in your challenge group? Well, probably not. Like if someone's like a super lame Debbie Downer person, like, do you want them in your group? Do you want to work with them? Like, not that you don't want to be nice about it, but they may not be the best fit. Or for me, like, I probably would not be the best coach for someone in their 60s because I just like don't know what the post-menopause world is like. Like I can't offer support and advice because I just don't know it. But if I'm talking with 20-something moms who, have recently had kids or are pregnant, like I can help with that because I get that. So that would be one thing, is kind of really specifying in your mind, who am I posting to? What characteristics do they have? What are target words that they relate to? And then every time you go to post something, talk to that person and don't worry about what other people are thinking because you're not trying to reach them. Like I don't post to guys because I don't know how to help them. So even though I have guy friends on Facebook, like I'm not actively trying to get guys to join my challenge groups because I don't feel like I can relate as well. So I literally wrote down, I called it like your avatar. I literally wrote down this morning after my workout, like my avatar person. So like if I could clone myself or pick my ideal customer or my ideal coach, what would she look like? So for me, and I went super specific, and I would encourage you guys to sit down and do this sometime this week if you can, like all the way down to like, okay, this is a girl in her 20s, like mid 20s to early 30s. She's probably married. Family and faith are really important to her. She's really driven and wants to be involved in things that are like bigger than her own home life, but also she really values her time at home, and maybe wants to be a stay-at-home mom, but feels guilty for wanting more. She likes fitness. She likes healthy and clean eating, but she probably also has a weakness for chocolate, and can enjoy like indulging every once in a while. She's someone who's really driven and motivated. She is someone who is probably not a huge fan of the mall, but really likes going to Pottery Barn and dreaming about how she wants to decorate her house someday. And she probably has little kids, most likely boys. I'm basically describing myself in a lot of ways. So thinking like, okay, if I'm posting to Abby either now or who Abby was a year ago, what are catchphrase words? Like, what are things that I would really resonate with? And so I'll give an example of a post that I did today where I kind of decided, like, I'm going to go a little deeper and really be like, who is Abby? So then I wrote down on another piece of paper, what are all the things that are important to me? Because as you're writing down your ideal customer, then you have to think, okay, what can I bring to the table that those people relate with? So then I wrote down, like, here's all the things I value, like my faith, my family. I like fitness, but I also really like making a difference in people's lives. So, like, for instance, not a ton of people know this, but I'm like incredibly passionate about childhood cancer. That's an issue that if I could donate millions of dollars to, I would. Those stories really move me. I really love history and I'm a big nerd about that. So kind of those are things that make me tick. So then today I did a post, if I can find it here. Yeah, I did 2 posts. So I don't know if you guys saw this one, but it's like nerd alert. This is my happy place lunch break. This was from yesterday. As a history major and I love reading, I got 2 different books on Winston Churchill, and I talked about leadership and learning are 2 things that are a big part of my life and what I value. And then I talked at the very bottom, something about, let's see here, like coaching has been really life-giving to me because it allows me to tap into my love of learning. So it's not an ad for a challenge group. It's not contact me for more information about the opportunity. It's just throwing out like, who is Abby? Abby likes wearing workout clothes in her backyard, and she apparently likes Winston Churchill. And kind of weaving really subtly into that why I am enjoying coaching. So that would be one piece. Another one I did today was this one. I just did this of me and Caleb tonight, and it's super short and sweet. Don't mention Beachbody, don't mention coaching, but I do mention that bedtime's my favorite time of night. And as soon as he goes to bed, I'm going to be back to work. And so I did this post, one, because he's just super cute, but also because I wanted to show how I'm able to, even if it's crazy, balance my priorities of showing how I'm fitting in working with a kiddo. And then I'll be back to work as soon as he's in bed. But just kind of, so opening up your life and showing people what you do. Because a lot of people don't realize, one, that you get paid to do what you do, or even like connecting, like, okay, the single girl, the 20-year-old college student that I'm friends on Facebook with because I work at a university is not going to resonate with this. But maybe the mom who's been watching me and is really wanting more but is worried about it might take away time from her kiddos might be like, oh, okay, I see what she's doing there. So kind of sneakily, or not sneakily, but just sprinkling things into your life. So posting to that person. Every time you do something on Facebook, like, target that person and don't worry about the fact that you may not connect with everyone. Think of who's important to you. And as you continue to do that, you're going to start attracting that person, whether it's a customer or a coach. I personally think that customers you can be a little bit more broad with because not all of them are going to turn into coaches. But if it's someone that you really want to continue working with in the future, I think that's a good example. This next slide is one, and I don't think I can make it very big. Let's see here. Yeah, I can't make it big, but these are a couple coaches. So this one of the baby, she did a post about how she couldn't believe that was her office, that she was like hanging out with her 4-month-old, but also was able to get work done. This girl, same thing, working on the couch. This coach put in how she loves personal development, and that personal growth was huge for her because she'd gone through a real time of depression in her life. And so investing in her own self was really, really important. So again, not really talking about like, this is a business, but more throwing in the benefits that have come from that. This one right here is the same girl, and she actually put off paying off the Tahoe, so paying off debt. And so if you guys, you guys are all just fresh starting your coaching thing, but I would challenge you, if this is something you want to do, to start sprinkling that in. It's really, really easy to just talk about health and fitness because that's where we're comfortable and that's what got us in the door. But I would say, I think it's the scariest thing to do, but start sprinkling into your posts little tidbits about coaching. And you don't have a story of like, oh my gosh, I just paid off our house and we're debt free and we're going to Bahamas for a week. Like, you don't have those stories. if you do, share me your secrets because I'd love to know them. But you can talk about like Lydia, you have some great examples in your posts about working out of how you push through, and like the examples you're setting for Vivian and things like that. And you can do those, and you can do things about, you know, I didn't want to wake up this morning, but my challenge group is keeping me accountable. And as a coach, I get to live by that. Or like, yeah, I'm saying this because I did this. I just ate half a bag of chocolate chips that are in my pantry and I feel disgusting right now. But, you know, sometimes in the month you just got to do what you got to do. And so you could talk about like, I'm not a fitness robot, but I know balance. You can keep it on the health and nutrition side, but you can also start throwing in these things about letting people see a little bit about what it is that you're actually doing, which I think is kind of helpful. This one I wanted to show you guys because it's something that, and you can just either like type in the little chat button or if you want to unmute yourselves, but I think this would be helpful. And it's something, since it's halfway through the month, I can either start with you guys now, or if you're like, no, we can wait. But they have this, I was thinking of doing a shared team calendar. Not that we all have to do the same thing, but kind of like ideas of like, okay, here's a post idea. Like this was for December. So on Thursday, we posted a holiday recipe. On Wednesday, we posted about how Beachbody affected my life. And then on this one, they did a hammer and chisel post or a transformation story or whatever. So kind of, if you feel like you need that structure to be outlined, or just a general week, like week 1, we're going to do a challenge group. Week 2, we're going to do a sneak peek. So I was thinking of doing something a little bit more structured into our team page. Would that be helpful for you guys? Yes. Ashley's nodding. Yeah. Okay. So I can do that. And I'll probably get that. It'll take me a little bit to put it together, but I can do that for March. So know that that's coming up. The second one was how we share the coaching opportunity. And again, I think this is the scary one. Ironically, you 3, none of you were in a challenge group with me. So you guys are like the oddballs out. Most people get coaches through challenge groups. I did not sign up as a coach from a challenge group, so I'm also one of those. We're just the special ones, I guess. But a lot of your best coaches will come from your challengers. And so what I always try to do is if I have a girl in my challenge group who's just killing it and is posting every day or is having great results, I'll a lot of times just message her and be like, hey, just so you know, you're doing what I'm doing. Like if this is something that's intriguing to you, I'd love to get you more info because you're doing great at this. So those one-on-one conversations in messages, or again, we talked about sprinkling coaching as a part of our page. We are going to do, by we, I mean I, and I'd love to have you guys join me, but a sneak peek group on the 18th. And what I'm going to do for that is I'm going to do a one-day thing where it's a live Facebook event, and I will have different videos posted about coaching from different coaches, kind of talking about the major things of the business, like frequently asked questions. I think Ashley, you were on one of those a couple weeks ago. Do you remember that one? Yeah. So along those lines, but I wanted to run it just a smaller one through our group. And then at the end of that, I was going to do a live like webinar question time for people to ask questions too. So if you have people that either have approached you about it because they're interested or you want to, and I know especially like Ashley and Melanie, you guys are still just like brand new starting out, so don't feel the pressure to do this. But if you have people that you think, man, they would love to get more info on this, like feel free to invite them and I'll post about it on our team page. But I wouldn't be afraid to start throwing it out there because it's an opportunity that's a really great one. And so I think it's pretty cool. But back to the niche piece, and I can close this. Let's see. Stop share. Oh, hi guys. I think that really thinking through like what it is that makes Lydia tick, like what is it that makes Ashley tick? What is it that makes Melanie unique? Because we all have the same product line to share basically, but you're not a Beachbody coach robot. Like you have unique things that you can bring to the table through your stories, through your personal experiences, things that you've gone through, like Lydia and Melanie. I'm especially thinking of you too, like some of the recent struggles you guys have overcome. Ashley, I don't know all your recent struggles, so I can't speak to that. But I think you have really unique things to bring to the table, and not that you need to go out and like air all the dirty laundry, but just know that you have a lot that you can like dig deep with and connect with people on. And even if you're like, oh, I don't want to share my whole story about whatever's going on, you could like be like, okay, I really want to target single moms, because this is an area that I get, and I know how hard it is to live paycheck to paycheck or fight for my son's custody, and know how hard it is to feel like I don't have anything outside of this or whatever. Like, start posting to that. If you're like, oh no, I'm really, really passionate about finding clean eating meals that my toddler will eat, because that's a phase that I'm in right now, because Caleb's like super picky. Post those recipes and share that with people and be that consistent person, and then sprinkle the coaching aspect in along the way. But just put your blinders on. And like, if you look at other coaches' posts, which I do, find the ones that you feel like also resonate with you as a person. So if someone's posting about their like spring break bikini body challenge, and you're like, I don't have any friends who are going on spring break in Cancun, I can't post about that, then like, don't do that post. But if you have another one, does that make sense? Yeah. Is that helpful for you guys? Ish. So I would really challenge you to, like, sometime this week, like, just sit down and write out, like, in detail, who is my ideal customer? What do they like? Where do they shop? What do they eat? Do they like going out? Are they an introvert? Are they someone who's scared of giving out their social security number on a website to sign up as a coach? Are they scared of spending money? Are they scared of looking dumb? And then start throwing those things out there. Kind of like we talked about last week with preemptively doing posts about, okay, Shakeology is expensive. I've been getting a lot of negatives on that. So I'm going to just go out and do a post of all the things I love about Shakeology. Just throw that out there. You can do the same thing with like your ideal person of like, okay, I know this is a girl who may struggle with self-esteem and validation, and maybe she feels awkward going to the gym because she doesn't feel comfortable there and doesn't know what to do on the moves. So you can post about, man, I love so much that I can do this like crazy hammer and chisel workout from my garage, and this trainer makes me laugh, and he's world class. So I get the best trainer in the world in my garage, and no one has to see what an idiot I look like, and I'm actually in here doing it in my pajamas right now. Hitting people from those angles, and really thinking through like everything that you post. And not everything that you post needs to be like a gigantic long story. It could just be little, but kind of always thinking, who is it that I'm trying to talk to right now? Yeah? Making sense? Yeah. And as I was like thinking through, because my coach Melanie was one of the ones leading this particular training, like, oh my, she was describing her ideal customer. I was like, oh my gosh, she got me. Like, I stumbled across her on Instagram. I wasn't even one of her challengers in her challenge group, but what she was posting about were all the things that I was like, yeah, she was a mom. I could relate to what she was posting about there. She was talking about how she wanted to stay home with her boys, but for her, she felt like she really wanted to be involved in something else. I was like, that's so me. Like, I know I want to come home from work, but I will struggle not having something to do. She was talking about clean eating. I was like, oh my gosh, Melanie, you're like creepy, but that totally worked. And then looking at all the girls on my team now, I think there's only one girl that's not a mom. Like, we're all the same age. Everyone has young kids to some extent. Like, we kind of attract a certain group of people. So thinking through who your vibe is. If you're not at a point where like, I'm ready to have a team of coaches, because I don't want you guys to feel that pressure, kind of take that same mentality though and apply it to your customers of who is it, and then be really specific there. Do you guys have questions on any of that? No. Do you feel like you guys are getting positive conversations? I know it's been, at least for me, it's been honestly a really hard month. I think I finally have one girl who's interested in getting in something, but I was telling Ben yesterday, I was like, this is the first time since I've signed up that like, it's really hard. So yeah, just pushing through, but yeah, Lydia.
I've been pretty MIA for the last couple weeks, just,
right.
Stuff. Yeah. And so, but I have this person that I've been talking to since like November, and I'm not even kidding. She says, oh, I'll buy it Friday. And then like Friday comes and goes, and I send her like a reminder, or, oh, by the way, when you buy it, it's going to kickstart your monthly subscription, blah, blah, blah. Let me know if you have questions about that. And then she's like, I see that she sees it on Facebook. She doesn't respond for like another week. And then I'm like, okay, going on. And then she's like, oh, it's been super busy. And so since like November, and so I'm a little.
I've had those people. They're like, it's like really, and it's awkward because you can see that they've seen it. It's like, whatever. Some of them are just like, okay, there's a girl that I've had that same thing where every month she's like, sign me up. I'm like, you're not actually going to do anything, but sure, I'll send you all the links again.
Yeah. So I'm not even sure.
Yeah, no, that's okay. I think I would like continue to every so often remind her, or I'll throw out like with that girl that I'm working with, I'm like, hey, just so you know, I know that you were interested in the 21 Day Fix last month. It's on sale again this month if that's something you're still wanting to do, and kind of like leaving.
Yeah, that was one of my things to her, and I don't know, she was really excited about it. I guess they were moving or something. I don't know, but it's just like, and at least let me know, like.
Totally. And I can do like, I'll do ones of like, hey, I'm getting ready to put the group together, like putting that time urgency on it. Like, I'd love to save you a spot. And you could even talk about like, I know you're super busy, so in the group we're going to be talking about like, and keeping it short, but be like talking about fitting it into a busy day or fitting in meal plans. I know that's something that might be helpful for you. So kind of, again, putting it back in her corner is good. I'm probably going to do at the end of the month, if I feel like I'm still struggling, I'm probably going to do a Fixate cookbook giveaways, because that's only like $12 to buy as a coach, where someone who buys a challenge pack, I'll probably do that. Or in the past, I've done like buy it and get the program for free, and then just sent them a $10 like Amazon gift card or something back, because it's only $10. So you can even run like a little special like that if you really, really wanted to. Especially I would say like if you get to like Success Club 4 and you're literally 1 point away, like it's worth doing that so you can get some of the other benefits from hitting Success Club 5. It's easy for me in my head to be like, oh my gosh, no one is talking to me. Like because I am. But then I look at the calendar, I'm like, it's freaking February 9th. Like, it's not even halfway through the month. Like, I just need to be consistent, trust the process. Like, I've been here before. And as I continue to kind of think and narrow, okay, who am I focusing on? What is the type of person I'm really looking for? And then just being like, blinders on, this is what I'm doing. I'm going to be honest. That's just going to happen naturally, I know. So don't get discouraged. Like, just you do you, but also be consistent and work hard at it, which I know you guys are. One of the other things that I think is kind of helpful to think through and talk about is just like having that game plan though of like, yeah, if I'm here, what am I going to do, or Success Club points or all of that. And I don't want you guys to feel pressure on it, but I just want to make sure that you are hitting that, because it really will jumpstart your business. And I know that's what you're all here to want to do. So let me know, like, if you're struggling or having hard conversations with people. If you guys do want to add people to like the sneak peek group, I would love if you wanted to do like a little 2 or 3 minute video kind of sharing like your story and coaching, or if you wanted to jump on a live webinar too, but no pressure on that. Just know that the invitation's open for you. Are there things that you guys are getting resistance on or feedback on that would be helpful to cover in more detail at all? Not really. No. Melanie, thanks for jumping in on the clean eating group. Your post the other night was awesome. I really liked that.
It was funny because I was just reading that script, and I literally was at the store Saturday night, and I was like, oh my gosh, they're the same price. Yeah. I had no idea, because I had so much stuff still in my cupboard, like in my pantry, that was like, I'm just gonna have to use this real quick. And I've been making that macaroni and cheese like 2 or 3 times a week because it's
so good.
Easy.
Yeah.
And Jacob loves it, and it's just easy. But I finally was going to get the whole grain pasta that I haven't been able to buy yet, and I was like, wait, it's the same price, and I was super shocked. So yeah. I was like, and then I saw that post, and I was like, this is really funny.
And so that right there, I think is a perfect post that you could do, even where you take a picture and you're in the grocery store of the 2 pastas and be like, guys, it's like they're both $1.29 or 29 cents or whatever, and just even make it short and sweet. Be like, it's so easy to make healthy choices. And as you just start throwing even those little snippets out, that helps. One thing, I haven't done this before, but one thing that another coach was saying that she did to kind of get Success Club points if she was struggling with getting people is, I know with a lot of people struggle with the meal planning piece or with even the shopping piece of what they're looking for. And so she offered a free, she's like, it didn't cost me anything, but it sounds really good, a free half-hour long meal planning, or I'll meet you at the grocery store and we'll go through and I'll show you like, this is where I shop and this is what I look for on labels or things like that. So that's even an idea that you could do if you have people that live close to you that are interested, where you can just like take them out and be like, here's what I'm doing. Cause it's intimidating, I think, to start and just not know where you're looking, or even like what aisle in the grocery store something is in. So either offering that or doing posts about that can be super, super helpful. So did you guys, I haven't gotten a chance to listen to the Dream Team call from last night. Did any of you guys listen to that? Yeah. Ashley, did you have any takeaway? I'm going to go listen to it anyways, but did you have any takeaways from it since you were on it?
No, but she was talking about like, obviously as a new coach, they're telling us to try to make this, group happen, like a challenge group happen. I set up a challenge group, and it's like, don't rush it, talk casually to them, but it's like, you know, coming up.
Yeah. Do you feel like you have anyone who's interested in it?
I have one girl that already purchased that is, but now I have a couple others that are kind of, you know, interested.
So I would say if you have like 3 girls.
Not sure about rushing into it.
Yeah. I would say if you have 3 people, that's plenty to start one for sure. And if you just have the 1 girl or 2 girls, then let's pair you up with another coach on the team who maybe just only has 1 or 2 people, and you guys can co-lead that together. Like I know Lydia and Andrea did that last month, and I think it worked pretty good for you guys, right? Lydia-ish?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. We're actually running our February one together too. So we have 2 going at the same time together.
Oh, awesome. Is that going well to team up like that?
Yeah, it is. This group is, I have like a couple people in it, but they're not really active. So, and I've been pretty, again, MIA, so I still have to, I have to like get back into it and see what's up.
I've noticed with challenge groups when you do run them that they kind of, some groups will just be super lame and quiet, and there's nothing you can do to get them not being lame and quiet. But then you'll have ones that are just fantastic and everyone is like posting. And I've noticed that if I am really present in the group, not just posting like the post of the day, but also like, here's my post-workout selfie, or like, here's my meal plan, or here's what my, like I'm one of the challengers, that really helps people. And then there's a really cool function on your Facebook, like if you have it on your phone, you can do a voice message to people. I just learned this a couple months ago, where you can record like a 30-second voice message if you're in the Messenger app to someone. And so I'll go through my goal is to do it once a week. It actually doesn't happen. It's more like once or twice a challenge group. But I'll go through on like a Sunday and just voice message everyone in the challenge group and be like, hey, you're doing so great. Like, how's your progress? And a lot of times people really appreciate that, because maybe they've been too awkward to like check in. But the fact that you're like checking up on them in an encouraging and supportive way is really good. So, or like if I have a girl that kind of just goes dark, I'll message her and be like, hey, what's going on? So yeah, Ashley, I would say if you have 1 person and it's the 9th, that's great. And then you can just like follow up with anyone that you've messaged about and say, hey, because you're starting it next week, right?
I want to.
You want to, yeah. I would just say like, hey, this is my plan. And if you feel like you need to push it back a week, you can do that. So, you know, feel free, because I'll be starting one on the 18th. So if you want to have them jump one in there, that's fine too. But yeah, you're doing great. Other things that would be helpful for you guys to know about or to talk about at this point? No, you're all feeling good. Okay. I know it sounds like super basic and dumb, but I think it's just that consistency piece, and also personal development. I'll be really honest, like this month has been really hard. Caleb has cried every day to go to daycare, and work has been insane. So it's been hard for me to like feel motivated, but that why is really driving me forward of like, I want to come home from work. And so even though I don't feel like I'm talking to anyone right now and I'm just like posting to the wind, that is pulling me forward. So diving into kind of reading the compound effect, or, you know, whatever it is that you need to do right now to kind of just motivate yourself, I would just try at least 10 minutes a day to do that, or listen to a national wake up call while you're getting your makeup on in the morning, or, you know, whatever it is that you need to do to be successful. So you guys are doing great though. I will continue to share stuff in our team page, but if there are things that like would be really helpful to learn, like to have me posting about, like I'll do the group calendar if that would be helpful for you guys. Even you don't have to go off of there, but just to kind of like have that in your head. But is there other things that you would want posted on, or like scripts that would be helpful to have? No.
Have you posted the Go for No yet?
No, I'll do that tonight. I'm going to do that. Yeah. So I'll post, I think I have this, I don't know if I have the script in there. So I'll do that. Yeah. Cause I'm going to do that in February. Just like, hey, I'm doing a fun challenge. Here we go. So I'll do Go for No. And then one thing too, that I always try to do, and like, Ashley, you're doing a great job of this for sure. And Lydia, I've seen you post on it as well, is like a week before you start doing something to start posting about it. So because I'm doing a coach sneak peek next Wednesday, you're going to see, if you're looking at my page, you're going to see me start posting a lot more about coaching. And I'll do like an actual like invite post kind of a thing too, but I'm going to start throwing it in there a lot more, because then when I do post that invite and like start messaging people, I want them to have already been maybe intrigued or seeing what I'm doing. So whether it's a challenge group or a coaching invite, you just want to know that you have to give people like a week or so of you being consistent before they'll get interested. So like Ashley, I'm thinking for you, you could be talking about the next week how, you know, how excited you are, like you're sitting down and like planning out your meal plan or your script for your group, and like you kind of fake it till you make it. Like you do have a group planned, you're gonna have a group. And like, yeah, the script may already be written, but you can be tweaking it. So you could talk about how you're excited about posting that, or you have a couple new recipes you're super excited to share in the group, or you know how important it is as you're starting this program that's insanely hard to have the motivation. And so you can start like talking about all the benefits of a challenge group over the next couple days as you are inviting people, because then they'll be like, oh, what is this about, kind of a thing. Does that help a little bit?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. You guys are just great. And please, like, if there's things that I can be helping with, just let me know, or message me, or text me, or whatever. It's never, ever, ever a bother. So I think we're just all in it together. And yeah, it's a hard month, but we'll just do it and get through it. Melanie, have you been able to do your like page yet?
My what?
Your like page or whatever. You were working on one.
No, I I sent you that email, and I've just been sitting on it, and I had lunch with a friend the other day, and she was one of the first people I told that I was going to do this, a little while ago. And she's like, oh my gosh, that's so awesome. She's like, I know a bunch of people that she works with, like do Beachbody and things like that. And so I had lunch with her, and she's been asking, how it's been going and everything. And I told her that I just had kind of written everything, but I'm just sitting on it. She's like, just do it.
Like, just do it.
Just do it. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, Lydia, tell her.
You'll love it. It's fun.
Yeah. So I'm thinking, like, I'm just going to kind of go for it and see what kind of happens. I mean, I feel like my mom's in that one group with you.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, was super excited, like the first week she was doing it.
Yeah.
And then like this past week, I feel like because I kind of got down about like, and I was kind of like falling behind on my stuff, it just kind of like ran over to her. I'm like, no, like you're in your second week. Like I can't do that to you too.
Yeah.
So I think I just have to kind of like.
Just close your eyes and push send. Like you literally just have to do it, and you're going to do great. And I think like what you just saw, that's one of the reasons that I love coaching. And I feel like it's helped me, and it's not all about getting in the best shape of your life, but I feel like I've gotten in better shape having been a coach than I ever was before, because of that same, like, even on a day where it's hard, you have to provide motivation for people. And so you can do that in an honest way of like, oh my gosh, today was so hard, but I did it anyway. And like, as you provide people that like optimism and encouragement and belief that they can do it too, it like rubs off on you, which is really, really cool. So we're all cheering you on. I dare you to do it this week.
Yes. It's been kind of crazy because a lot of stuff has happened pretty quickly, like of the jobs and everything. Mm-hmm. And so I just want to like go for it and, just kind of start my new routine, which could potentially start, this next week. And I want to work it in and just kind of, just jump both feet in and just go for it. So.
Do it. And I know it can be hard working. Like I've told this to you guys before, but like with my schedule, I will get up at like somewhere between 5:30 or 6. I'll work out. I'll do my posts in the challenge group. I'll use, I think Lydia uses it too, Hootsuite. So it's like pre-scheduled, but I'll like follow up.
Sometimes it doesn't post, so I'm not sure what's going on with that.
Weird. I had that happen to me once, and I had to like relink the accounts for some reason, but it's only happened once. But yeah, there's a couple other ones that you can do it with. So yeah, I'll use the morning before I go to work and like get stuff checked in. My goal, honestly, always is to do my invites in the morning, and that never, ever, ever happens. So I think I just need to get up earlier. But then usually what happens then is at night after Caleb goes to bed is when I do stuff like this with you guys, or I do my invites or follow up with people who've messaged me back. So for me, I kind of have to break it up into chunks. Like in the morning I do one half, and in the evening I do one half. But they always happen. And like I have them marked off on my calendar so that it forces me to do it and like really treat it like a business. So whatever it is that your time is, like maybe it's your lunch hour, or Ashley, maybe it's like when your daughter's napping, or, you know, it doesn't have to be the same schedule that I do, but I would really say like set business hours, stick to them. When you're on Facebook, like, and I literally will do this. Sometimes like at night, I'll be like, just catch myself just scrolling, like trying to figure out like, oh, who should I invite? And then I'll just be like, okay, I'm done for the night. Like, this is just pointless. I'm just sitting here scrolling, doing nothing. So I'm gonna like call it a night, but I'll always try to invite 3 people, or I will invite, message, or follow up with 3 people. So that could be an actual invite, an actual like, hey, did you get my message from last week? Or it might just be, hey, we haven't talked in forever. How are you? Because I try to also add people. I actually went from 400 Facebook friends to 1,200 in the last 8 months. Because you need to like constantly be adding your warm markets. Like I went through all my friends from college and realized like, wow, we have tons of friends that like people that I thought I was friends with, but apparently I'm not on Facebook. So just like add them. Or I have a blog. So as people have repinned my stuff on Pinterest, I can add them that way. And so, yeah, kind of figuring out like, how do I constantly expand the market I'm working with? But then as I get new people added in, like making sure I'm liking their posts or commenting on things or whatever it is like that. So I will also use like my business time for that. Like, here's a good one. If you guys are trying to get people, is I don't know if you guys are part of any like moms groups on Facebook. You've been in any of those? I can add you all to this one actually. I'll add all of you guys to this group. You're welcome. So there's this group that a friend of mine set up, and it's actually really cool. It's called the Sisterhood of Motherhood. Sounds really corny, but it's just like a ton of moms from all around the country, all different phases of life. And everyone is like, people will just post like, oh my gosh, my 4-month-old is like screaming in the car, or like what have I done? Or man, have you guys had any potty training tips or whatever? So what I've started to do is I never want to post an ad in there because that's rude. But I will post something like, gosh, do you guys have any tips for potty training a 3-year-old boy? Like I would love to hear tips and tricks on that. And then as girls jump in and comment because they have great advice, I'll like respond back to them, be like, thank you so much. Like that was so helpful, because it was. But then I'll add them as a friend, be like, oh, we've related on this and connected. And they always accept me. And then I'll like their posts. And so we have this like kind of connection of being in this mom group of like, oh, this one girl posted about reflux. Well, Caleb had the worst reflux in the world for like 4 months. We couldn't figure out why. So like I messaged her about that. So then you're like finding people that are relating to you, which is kind of cool. So I'll add you guys to that group because it's people from all around. We have like less than a minute left, so I don't want to get cut off awkwardly. Is there anything else that'd be helpful for you guys? You good to go for this week? Yeah.
I'd like to do a private one-on-one call with you at some point.
Yeah. You can call me after this.
Okay.
Cool.
Okay.
Melanie, your job this week is to post that. Announce it.